Hey guys, Ben back with another one. Hope you are all doing well. This video today, I'm going to be dropping a lot of value, right? Again, it's going to be a lot of detail going into exactly how you can land a remote sales role with absolutely no experience, step by step, different methods, things you need to know. It's going to be a massive value drop, right? All for free. So stick around. If it does interest you, it's probably going to be quite a long one. But again, step by step, exactly how to get into this space. Now, who am I and why should you listen to me? I have been in this space now for coming up to 2 years. As you can see here, I've had £10,000 wired to me in one day, or just under. I've gone from 1 to 15k per month within the past just under 2 years. Went 19 to 21. I've traveled the world. I've been in Ibiza with business owners who I've worked for closing. I've been to Montenegro with other business owners I've worked for. I've lived in Montenegro, I've lived in Marbella, I'm in Bali right now. I have the freedom to be able to travel and go to places like Rome and run the marathon whilst I'm working, right? Because I have that flexibility due to high ticket sales, right? This business model has allowed me to live this life. In terms of other people I've helped, I've also helped people like Jed, who had absolutely no experience, land a 7-figure closing role within his first month. I've helped guys like James, who went from 7% close rate to 40% plus, working one-on-one with me. I've helped Rory, who started his own agency, which failed miserably, go from that to also dropping out of uni and now closing on a 7-figure gig. Just over a month of working with me, and other guys like Charles, who have landed interviews with top guys in the space for 7-figure offers that do over 250k a month. So I've been there, I've done it for myself, I've helped others do it as well. So I've literally seen what it's like to coach people, so I know which methods work best. So let's dive into it, right? The value drop. So how to get into high ticket sales, right? Step-by-step guide. So firstly, deep breath, right? Realize that things take time, just like anything. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. So if you think you're going to make 10k in your first month, reality check, I've got to tell you now, it's not going to happen, right? So don't even bother starting if this is your mindset. If you have the mindset that you're going to make 10k in the next month, then do not bother starting, or reframe your mind, right? Prep yourself, write out your goals, do a fucking vision board if you want to, right? Write out what you want. Where do you want to be in the next 90 to 120 days? Where do you want to be this time next year? Visualize it, think about it, because it's something that you can look back to every single day when times get tough, when things don't go your way, which will happen, right? You need something that you're going to be able to look at, which is going to keep you motivated, right? So write your goals out, write where you want to be, something to look back at. Now, skill versus offer, right? This is the big dilemma to begin with, because you don't have an offer to sell on, right? You don't have a job, and you also don't have the skill of sales yet. So you need to balance both, right? In my opinion, you should be focusing a little bit more on the offer, because it doesn't matter how good your skill set is. If you don't have a job, right, then you can't utilize it and you can't make money from it, right? If you have no offer to sell on, then you're fucked, right, essentially. So this is the split that I teach. 60% offer, 40% skill set. This is where your time and attention should be going. So 60% of it should be going into getting yourself a job, and 40% of it should be building up your skill, so that when this job comes, you have the skill set to go in and absolutely smash it. Because again, if you focus all on the offer, all on the job, then yeah, you might land a really good job, but you have no skill set, so you're probably going to lose that job pretty quickly, which is why you need to balance both to begin with. So let's dive into offer. So there's different ways that you can land an offer in this space. So there's long-term ways, which is networking, there's short-term Loom outreach, there's job posts. So let's just go into all of them. So firstly, let's go into Loom outreach. So this is a speed. This is a way that you can land a job pretty quickly, but you have to do things right. So Loom outreach, this gets a lot of hate in the space, but trust me, it works, right? You have to just do it right. One of my students, Rory, he smashed it out, right? The guy I showed you earlier, he smashed it out. He landed 3 closing roles within 1 week, and he was hired out of 75 applicants just because he sent a Loom video to the business owner, kind of explaining who he was and pitching himself. That resulted in him applying for a job that they were offering, to jumping on an interview which had 75 other people also getting interviewed, and then landing the role, right? I've put here, it gets you talking to a camera as well. That's another big bonus of Loom outreach, is that you're on the camera, you're speaking on the camera, because it's a bit uncomfortable to begin with. right? So when you're speaking on a camera, again, you're just getting used to it because this is what you're going to be doing as your job as a closer. So what actually is Loom Outreach, right? It's quality over quantity. What it is you are basically pitching yourself to a business owner, right? As I say here, you find business owners on Instagram, you look at their profile. Do they seem like they're running a business? Are they selling a service? Are they selling a course? Are they selling coaching, right? If they are, then guess what? They need salespeople, they need closers, they need setters, right? So this is your opportunity to message them to basically ask for a job. But you have to go about it the right way. You have to, which is why quality over quantity is the most important with this method. If you half-ass this method, then you will fail, right? And it is a complete waste of time, right? It requires effort, it requires research, and it works, again, it works for Rory. It's exactly how I landed my first job as well in this space. I sent a video to an e-commerce business owner. I pitched myself to him. I talked about myself, who I am, how I could help his business, and I got an interview from that. I landed the job, and that job ended up making me my first £5,000 in a single month. So this method works. It still works now. People tell you it doesn't. Don't listen to them, because I've literally seen it with the guys that I work with. It still works. So do not sleep on it, right? But again, quality over quantity. Do not send shit outreach messages. Right, so this is how you send a good Loom video, a good outreach message to someone, a good video. Firstly, you research them, right? Look at their YouTube videos, look at their testimonials of their clients, look at their reels on Instagram, look at their posts on Facebook. What are they doing? What do you like about their content? What are some things that you can mention in the video that you're going to send them that shows that you have done your research, that you've looked into this person, right? And then from there, you want to plan out your video. And look, I don't have time to give you an exact template of exactly what to say, but here's some key things that you need to do. Right, so record a Loom video talking about what you've researched and essentially pitch yourself to the business owner, right? Put a lot of effort into our research, right? And video, therefore, they are much more likely, oh, bit of spelling error here, they're much more likely to respond to us if you put in effort. Right, if you've put in effort, you've researched the company, you've mentioned a testimonial of a client that they work with that you really like, you mentioned a perspective that they have on running ads that you think is really good, right? If you put in the effort, human nature, human instincts, they're going to want to respond to you. If they watch this video and they think, wow, this guy's really researched me, I almost feel bad if I don't respond to him. They're going to respond, they're going to remember you, they might even offer you a job, but if they don't, then they're going to remember you, and that's the really key thing here. Second, the effort you put into the video and the research, it mirrors the effort you're going to put in if you were to work with this business, and subconsciously that is what they're going to be thinking, right? So it's vital that we put in this effort. If someone sees a video and they think, wow, this guy has probably spent an hour or 30 minutes researching me to then send me this video, wow, if he puts that kind of effort into my business, this is going to be someone who I'd want to work for my team. And that is exactly how they think. And again, that will then give you the opportunity to potentially land an interview, potentially start working for this client. So that is Loom Outreach. The good thing about Loom Outreach is it's a volume game. You can send as many Loom videos as you want to as many clients as you want. No one is stopping you from doing that. So if you put in the inputs, you send a ton of Loom videos to a ton of business owners, and you put effort into all of them, the likelihood is you're going to get some replies and something good is going to come from it. And again, it's exactly how Rory landed those interviews, landed those jobs through this method, right? So trust me, it works. So that's Loom Outreach. Second is networking. Now, networking is a lot more long term, but it's so super vital that you do this, because the best jobs come through your network, 100%. This is what the first ever mentor I worked with, this is what he taught me, and he was right. Like, the best jobs come through your network, come through the people that you know, right? So how do you start networking? Right, so first you want to document everything, right? Start a brand on Facebook, start posting content on there. It doesn't need to be crazy content, it doesn't need to be highly edited stuff, right? Just something that gives you a bit of credibility, right? Fix up your social media, make your profile look professional, have a virtual CV. It is your virtual CV, right? That offer owners will look at before they potentially hire you. If you send a Loom video, or you're trying to network with someone and they look at your profile and you have no profile picture, right? And you have no posts, then they're probably not going to reply to you, right? So prep your socials, and start just posting some content about your journey, right? What are you doing? Where are you at in high ticket sales? What's working? What's not? Just continuously post, because again, it's something to look back on. It gives you credibility, right? prep Facebook profile, right, and then you start to network with people. As I said, you don't be a fucking noob, right? You need to stand out from other people, so that requires effort. So firstly, put effort into your profile, prep it, make it look good, make sure you're not someone who just doesn't have a profile picture. So this is exactly how you're going to network with people. So find valuable people on Facebook, go on their profile, look at some of the things they do. It's very similar to Loom Outreach in the fact that you need to do your research. Right, look at some reels. What are their posts? Look at their YouTube. Comment some value. Oh, I really liked your reel where you talked about how to handle objections within your business. I think that was a really cool perspective. XYZ. Oh, I loved your testimonial with this client. I think that they will do really well with XYZ. Oh, I saw that you're a Bristol City fan. I saw that you're a Manchester United fan. Oh, I love Manchester United as well. Blah 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 blah. Start a conversation. Find something that's similar between you, right? Something that's going to make you stand out. Use humor, right? Make a funny comment. Fucking put the post into ChatGPT and say, what would be a funny response to this? Just get ideas of things that you can say, and AI is really good for that. But the key thing again is you want to watch their videos, you want to look at their content, you need to stand out from other people. Start posting, start commenting value so that they begin to know you, they begin to see your posts, you're coming up for them, right, more than once, right, so they have an idea who you are. And then you want to speak to them, right, and you want to speak to them like a normal person. There's too many people in this space who are socially inept, right? They are just complete robots, they're weirdos, right? If you have friends, if you speak with people on a day-to-day basis, if you're someone who can hold a conversation, then you're 90% ahead of most people in this game, I promise you, right? So be relatable, be likable, right? And then from there, you then want to message them. And I'm not going to go into detail on exactly how to do that because it will take too long, but you want to message them, you want to try and get on a call with them, you want to ask them some questions, and then you want to stay connected with them, right? And the more people you do that, your web of network will slowly increase, and opportunities in the long term will begin to come, right? This isn't a short-term game, right? This is long-term, right? You're building this network for the future, right? And also you want to network with guys who are a few steps ahead of you, right? If you try and network with guys who have millions of followers, the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim. But you need to realize the guys who are on the same level as you now, in a year's time, they're going to be absolutely killing it. And that's exactly what happened to me, right? I was networking with guys who were in my coaching program. This guy called Rahul, me and him, we were both starting out together. We had absolutely no experience, but we networked, we jumped on calls, we did role plays together. And now the past few years, we've watched each other grow. Rahul's absolutely crushing it. It's done over 30K in a month. He's now in my network. If job opportunities come, he'll send them to me. Same with loads of other people, right? It's not just Rahul, it's tons of people. So network with guys who are the same level as you. Even if you don't think they're offering a lot of value, they will offer value in time. So vertical networking or horizontal networking is really, really key, right? Cool, right? So that is networking, right? And again, like, think about their views, their values. Do they have things in common? Leverage is really, really key. You are relatable and you're likable, right? And yeah, that is long-term networking. That is basically the play of what you're going to be doing there. Now, next is job posts. So job posts are there, they're ready to go, right? You've got LinkedIn job posts, Facebook job posts, you've got recruiters, which again is a whole nother kettle of fish, recruiters, but these are people who will place you in roles and they get paid to do that, right? So there's so many different ways you can basically just use volume to land jobs. So LinkedIn, especially if you're from a corporate sales background, from what I've seen with the guys that I've worked in, works really well because their LinkedIn profiles are already pretty optimized. So leverage your profiles to land roles. There's always tons of opportunities on LinkedIn. Jump on LinkedIn, search in the job post, high ticket closer, tons will come up. You can apply to loads of them, you can network with the business owners, and yeah, you can land jobs through that way, right? So that's LinkedIn. You've got Facebook groups, right? There's lots of shit on there, there's lots of crap, but there's also good opportunities, right? One of my guys who I work with, he landed a job in a Facebook group the other day. Someone posted a job application into a Facebook group. He was on Facebook at the time, he applied, the post got deleted 30 minutes later. He spoke with the guy on the call, he said, yeah, I just wanted to put it on just to see. We've already spoken with tons of applicants, but he managed to get an interview for it anyway. And he actually landed the gig, not that he ended up going for it. But opportunities are on Facebook, but there is quite a lot of crap on there. I landed a closing gig with a social media marketing agency from this method. I also landed my first 2 setting gigs through Facebook groups, right? It gets you some experience, it gets a foot in the door, right? You can't expect to land a job that's going to make you 10K per month straight away, so you need to leverage some experience. And Facebook groups, although they get a lot of hate, there are jobs there, right? So use it to your advantage, especially if you're just starting out. So join Facebook groups, jump on LinkedIn, search for jobs. That is another way that you can land an offer, right? So those three methods, those are the key ways that you can land offers, right, in this space. But overall, right, the best offers come from your network. A lot of job posts aren't even shown publicly, right? It's about who you know, not what you know, right? And I've seen that a lot now. Being in the space for 2 years, I have people messaging me, asking me to find them salespeople for certain roles, because it's a network that I've leveraged and it's a network that I've built, right? So yeah, this is really important as well, but again, that takes time. So that is offer. Now, in terms of skill set, this is the other side of it. So as well as doing all of this, you still need to hone in your skill set, right? So you've got setting and closing, right? Setting, you've got DM setting, you've got phone setting, you've got triaging and SDR, right? The main thing with this is you want to try and get a gig straight away. As I said, you find a gig on Facebook and you just start getting the reps in, get in the trenches, begin to understand it. You're probably not going to make a shit ton of money from it, but you need to get some experience, because you need to start leveraging this experience to then land better jobs, right? So get the reps in, get in the trenches, realize that it's going to be hard to begin with for the first month or so, but get in the trenches, get that experience, right? That is what I would recommend doing. Along with that, start studying frameworks and scripts, right? DM setting for scripts, phone setting scripts, triaging. Begin to do role plays with other people as well, right? People in your network, people in your coaching program, whatever it might be. Just get on these calls, be smashing them out every day. The more role plays you do, the better you're going to get. The quicker you land a job, the better you're going to get. So just jump in the deep end with this. Super important that you do that, right? Setting and then closing, right? At the end of the day, where we want to get you is a point where you're closing. That is really where you want to be. Everyone wants to be closing, because that's where you make more money and it's more fun, right? So firstly, this is something that you can do, is pretty high leverage. It's just watch sales calls from experienced guys, right? Learn and study what they do. What are they doing? They're obviously good, right? They're doing something right because they're making money. So watch these calls, study these calls. That's exactly what I did with my first mentor. I studied his calls top to bottom every single day, began to understand what he was doing, began to understand why he was asking certain questions, right? And when you do that, you build a knack for it. You begin to understand. And the frameworks for closing, they are quite similar to setting, right? You need to close people on getting on a call as a setter, right? So just studying these frameworks, learn a framework. Long term, you want to get to a point where you're selling scriptless, so you don't actually have a script, but scripts are really, really useful to begin with, to understand frameworks and understand exactly the process that you're taking the client through. So I would say that you learn a script as well. That's what I teach people in my community. And then again, role playing, right? Absolutely smash out role play. You can put in so much input into role play. You can smash it out. You can do 3, 4, 5 sessions a day, and you're just going to get better and better and better. So that when an opportunity does come, you've got the leverage of your experience. You're in a good position, so that you can smash that smash that job like straight away. Cool. Well, that is pretty much it. Again, lots there to go over. I know a lot of it's not in detail, but it's exactly how you can land a job, right? You could use this from this video, it's completely free, and you could go and land a high ticket sales job. Absolutely no reason why you couldn't. So 60% offer, 40% skill set, that's what I recommend, and that's what you should be teaching. Now look, if you're interested in learning more about this and you want to speed this up, right, as I said, if you try and do this on your own, it's probably going to take you a lot of time and effort. As I've shown you, I've done this with myself, I've done this with other people. So if you're remotely interested to find out more, then I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can book in a call with me. We can discuss whether this is going to work, whether this is going to be a good idea for you, and whether we can work together. So feel free to do that. If you have any other questions, check out my Instagram, drop me a DM. Be more than happy to answer any questions. But yeah, looking forward to it, and we will speak soon. Cheers.